Today we're talking about how to get a UK driver's license as an expat, basically exchanging your foreign license. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kat from Kat's Gone Global and I do videos on moving to the UK, London and travel. Let's start with the first requirement. So you need to have eligibility that so like a visa or a passport that allows you to hold a permanent address in the UK. So that's the first requirement. The second requirement is that you must have lived here for 185 days before you can exchange your license. So that's really important. Now you don't have to have lived at the same address, but you have to prove that you have been here for 185 days. The third requirement for getting a UK driver's license is that your country needs to have a reciprocal agreement. So for example, I'm from Australia. Australia does have a reciprocal agreement with the UK. So all I needed to do was send my Australian driver's license off to receive a UK driver's license. Now this is based on where you passed your test. So I can prove that I passed my test in Australia and therefore I'm eligible. If you pass your test in another country, then you have to check with that country if they've got a reciprocal agreement, or you have to retake the test in the UK. So you have to get another learner's permit and go through the whole process of getting your driver's license. So that's one thing to know. Another thing is Canadians and Kiwis, you do require a piece of paper to prove that you can drive a manual car. They will not automatically give you a manual license unless you can prove that you passed your test in a manual car. So you will need to either contact your DVLA to get a hold of a copy of that, and if they can't provide a copy of that, then you'll automatically be issued with an automatic license, unfortunately. I forgot to mention that there's also a quiz that you can take. I'll leave the link in the description below. Just quickly take it. It will tell you whether you're eligible or not to exchange your license, and it's probably the simplest way to go about this. On the same website, you can order what's called a D1 form, which is this pretty form. Basically, this is the form that you need to fill out to exchange your driver's license. I find the easiest way is to just get the DVLA, I'm going to screw this up the whole time, to send you the form instead of going to the post office, because I find sometimes not all post offices have these in stock, so it's just really lazy to get it posted to you, and just super simple. So that's what I did when getting these forms. When you receive the form, you will also get given a pamphlet which will help you fill out the form. It's not that hard. It's just a 2-page form, so it goes into all the details. I'll do some shots in the moment to show you. Yeah, so you just fill that out. Any questions you have will be in the pamphlet, so make sure you give that a read. So the next thing that you need to do is get a passport photo. You need to stick it here, and the best way to do that is to go to like a Snappy Snaps or something like that. It's just a standard UK passport photo size, so you can just go in and tell them that you need it for a driver's license and they'll just issue you with a normal passport photo. Yeah, make sure it's a good one because it'll be on your driver's license for 10 years. Now that you've completed the form and got your passport photo, you need to prepare all the documents you need to send. When I say prepare, there's not that much. You just need your D1 form with your passport photo, your biometric card, or if yours was old school and in your passport like mine was, then your passport with your visa. The document that states that you can drive a manual car if you're getting a manual car, so a manual license, sorry. So Canadians, Kiwis, you need to send proof of that. For anybody else, it's generally recorded on your driver's license. The other thing you need to include is a £43 cheque, which I'll get to in a moment. and then you need to put a self-addressed envelope in there. Now, this is not mandatory, but I don't particularly want my BRP card to get sent back in second class post, not second hand. I don't know where I'm getting second hand from. I think it's the second class. Anyway, it's not recorded, it's not tracked, and you want to make sure that this is kept safe. The hassle of replacing your BRP card is a nightmare. So just save yourself the trouble and get a registered post bag to get this sent back to you, and put your address and details on it. Just to quickly add, if you're a British citizen, i.e. moved over with a British passport, I'll open this in a second, then you're lucky enough to just put your passport number in, and you don't have to send off any documentation. So bear that in mind if you came over on a British passport. For some reason, the DVLA only accepts CHEQUE, which is such a pain. I mean, like, no one really uses CHEQUE these days, so they're really back in the old school days. Now, there are 3 ways to get a check. The first one, which would be the easiest one for most people, is to get a postal order. So basically, you just walk into the post office and you ask for a postal order. They'll write out a check to the DVLA for £43 and charge you 12.5%, which is £5.37 for the privilege of them writing you a check, and you pay them on the spot. The reason why I recommend this is if you've got an account like Monzo, like Starling, and all of these banks, they don't currently have a check writing service, so this would definitely be your only option. But it's also one of the easiest options because you'll be going to the post office anyway to be getting a registered post bag and sending off all your documents. The other way to get a check is to go to your bank. So call up your nearest branch, see if they issued checks, and get them to write you a check and then go in and collect it. The last option, for whatever reason you've decided to do this, is to get a checkbook. Now, the chances of you ever needing a checkbook, at least in my case, is very slim. I've only ever had to write one check, and that was to the DVLA. Anyway, if you do, you could ask your bank to give you a checkbook if that's something that you want to do. So those are 3 options that I know of that can get you a check to send to the DVLA. The postal order one is obviously the easiest one. I forgot to mention, on the check, you also need to write your date of birth, your name, and your current driver's license number on it, just in case they lose your check somewhere in their piles of paperwork and checks. So don't forget to do that. Okay, so now you've done all of that stuff, you send off the application, and you have to wait for about 3 weeks to get your driver's license back. They will send your UK driver's license and your documents separately. So if you provided them with a self-addressed envelope to send your BRP card back and it's all tracked, you will see that being received through that. If you didn't, you received that through second class post, and your driver's license will also come through second class post. They will not put that in the bag that you sent them or the envelope that you sent them. Okay, so when I received my driver's license, they had all of these codes on the back and I didn't quite understand what they were. So these codes translate into what you're eligible to drive and different things. So like there'll be one about eyesight, there's this one that I can drive a car with a trailer. Now, the most important one, which isn't on my license because I don't have a manual, is that if you are restricted to an automatic, there will be a code here that says number 78, and that means your license is an automatic license. So the codes, I'll leave a link in how to figure out what the codes are, but do mean different things and what you're eligible to drive. So I suggest like definitely looking through that and seeing what you can and can't do. Hopefully that's helped you understand how to exchange your driver's license. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments below and I'll help you out the best I can. Until next time, guys, I will see you on Monday. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll see you in the next video.